Hello and welcome to Stereotypical, the podcast about music and the people who make it, brought to you by the OX Collective. My name is Liam McGrath and I'm here at Allo Sound, as always, joined by my good friend Mr. Jack O'Neill. Today we're going to be having a little conversation about how the internet has changed music. So without any further ado, let's just get into it. Stereotypical, episode 12, let's go. Hello everybody, welcome to Stereotypical. My name's Liam McGrath. I am, as always, joined by Mr. Jack O'Neill. How are you doing this week?
This week? I'm alright, yeah, I'm alright.
This week. Well, this 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks since we did an episode, I think.
Yeah,
this month.
The weather's taking a turn right now, isn't it?
I know.
In this moment in time, but yeah, all good vibes.
We should say, before we start as well, Jack and I have been making music together recently, again.
For a change, yeah.
For a change.
We're back at it,
We're
gang.
back. The boys are back. So if you want to, listen to our stuff or keep up to date, you can follow us on Instagram at Stockholm Worldwide.
Yep.
We are neither from Stockholm nor are we worldwide, but at Stockholm Worldwide. I'll put the link in the description, and we put a load of we've got 2 songs out already on Spotify, and then we put a load of behind the scenes sort of videos and that on our Instagram. I think that's mad, innit? Do you not reckon it's weird how you can watch people's songs just come together on the internet?
Do I think it's weird? I guess so, yeah. That's like a drug to me, as you'll know. I like a lot of behind the scenes sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And there's some songs that you see the memes about it being a producer. You don't listen to music as a objective thing now. You kind of listen too deeply in it.
Well, do you think when people tease, because we do it, obviously we're always post we do it and I do it with strangers and that.
Mm-hmm.
But big artists will post snippets and in the studio videos and behind the scenes shit before songs come out. Do you think that adds to the hype or spoils it because you're hearing bits of the song before it's done?
I'd say it adds to the hype.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I kind of look at it from the marketing way.
Yeah.
And I understand why they're doing it, but I think it works both ways. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure you're waiting to get a song out and everyone's waiting to hear it. Yeah. So it's kind of equal terms.
That's how I always feel. A lot of the reason why I like doing shit like that is because I just get really excited about what I'm working on, and I'm I want to show this to people. I know it's not finished, but I want to show it to people now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not that many people give a shit, but it's always nice to put it out there. And I think from our perspective, it probably I know it interests me to see in studio videos and behind the scenes videos. I know that you're pretty much all you watch is
in the studio,
deconstructed videos.
Yeah, it's mad because when you said then that no one's interested in sometimes I'll just search on YouTube how I made, and there's loads of it, and there's an artist called Dayglow. I think I've shown you one of his tunes, and I would have never heard of him before.
Yeah.
But he had an LP out and he's going through every single track about how he made it, and it's mad 'cause it's all in the box. Yeah. He's using Logic's own guitar amps and shit.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and they're actually good songs.
I've done that as well, where you watch sort of I'll watch Genius Deconstructed for people that I don't even know. You know what I mean? Songs that I haven't heard. But then again, it's also it's an interesting way to find music when you hear it, how it was made first. You know what I mean? I think I might have seen the John Bellion Guillotine making of before I heard the song, and that is just it's almost the way you shouldn't go about getting into new music, but it makes it more interesting for me as a producer, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I remember John Bellion's all-time low being dead high in the charts, and I'd never heard it, but I watched the video about how he made it, and then I was fuck, this is a catchy song, this is good, this. And then that's how I got into him that way. Yeah. And he's a crazy producer.
We are just nerds, really, when you think about it, aren't it?
It's a good thing to be nerdy about, though.
Well, that's what I mean.
But also, it's a weird thing as well, because it's, we say, it's a very niche thing to know, a lot of stuff about.
Yeah. I remember being, 16, and I was at a gaff, and the Kook song come on, and I was talking to someone about, the bass line in this, and she just looked at me and went, "You're a dork, aren't you? I've never really noticed, but you're a dork, but just for music things, so it comes across as, a kind of cool dork, but you're still a dork," you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. But yeah, so we're working on stuff, posting a lot on the Instagram.
Yeah.
Got a few things in the pipeline. I'm excited. I never usually get excited. Do you know
about
what I mean?
our stuff.
Yeah, I'd say so. Well,
in general,
yeah. It doesn't happen. But like when you say all the time, like when we're working on stuff in the studio, you get like dead hyped. So I'm like, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
But I'm excited now. I'm excited that we've got a few things moving.
It was interesting. I was talking to Tim the other day.
Shout out Tim.
Shout out Tim Taylor. And we sort of touched on this a bit in the episode that we did with him. But like, he was asking like, you know, like how far we were along with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh yeah, we've got like, you know, 6 tunes that are sort of yet to be finished, but are sort of all moving along slowly. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I don't know how you do that, because he's a very like, start one song, finish that song, move on to the next one. Mm-hmm. But I think because we take so long to, and like I do this with strangers and just me in general, like I take so long to finish stuff that if I made one song at a time, I feel like I'd make less music.
Yeah, I get you.
You know what I mean?
But we do that thing where like, you know, we work on something because we're trying to do like at least like a full day a week now.
Yeah.
Of stuff, and we work on something for a few hours, and then we're like, oh, just getting a bit shit now. Should we move on to something else?
Yeah.
So it kind of works in our favour, really.
Yeah, because if we didn't have other shit to work on, then I feel like we'd just get bored or frustrated with the thing that we're doing, like and then we'd have nothing else to do.
Yeah, like in the past, there's definitely can't speak, been times where like I went at yours and I've gone home like thinking we've done fuck all today.
Yeah.
This has been a waste of a day because we've been set out to like, we need to do this today.
Yeah. I think that the frequency at which you work helps as well. So like if we do a session a week, even if you don't get as much done in one particular session, you still feel like you're moving along. Whereas like when we barely used to do sessions, you just show up, and if we didn't get anything done that day, then we wouldn't get anything done for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Because we just shit, like we're not doing anything.
I don't know. I feel like there's new life. Like we seem to be getting a lot done in one session these days.
Yeah, I think we'll have songs out soon. Well, I say soon. I mean like September, I reckon.
Yeah, maybe a little bit before.
That'll probably be like 2 years since we've released music as well, which is mad.
It's crazy, yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. I always think it's funny if we get like stuck on something in the studio. We're like, let's just have a break. Let's watch something, and then we'll like watch a deconstructed video or like listen to Lady by Mojo.
Yeah.
But that's what I wanted to talk to you about actually, like with the deconstructed videos and shit. Is like, how much do you think you owe to like YouTube?
Yeah, that's one of the points we've got like with like music and the internet, because like I said it before, when we started college, he was like ahead of pretty much everyone. Tim had his own little corner of stuff.
Yeah.
But in terms of like music recording and production, I say you knew more than people. And college was a good kickstart to like, this is EQ.
Yeah.
We'll touch on it on a lesson. And then like, I know I definitely go home and research more into it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And kind of get my head around it at home for like the next day and stuff. So college was really good, and it was a really good experience. But I'd say like a lot of the learning was like online, which is crazy.
Yeah. Which
is one of the reasons that when I did drop out of uni, I was like, I understand why.
Yeah. How do you think that's like changed? This is probably a lofty question, but how do you think that's like changed music in general and like the industry, in terms of like the fact that there's not as much gatekeeping going on, you know what I mean? Anybody can learn to do shit.
I think it's good that anyone can learn to do it.
Yeah,
like, it's obviously the same way we've into it. You know, it's good for us. It's got to be good for everyone else.
Yeah.
But the thing I find mad is, like I've said to you before, like we make something decent or I make something good, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's okay. Don't know if I'll put it out though. And I'll go online and there's loads of people going, this is the fucking best song I've made in my entire life. And it's like a minute of shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how someone could listen to it and go, this is really good.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing as well with the internet. Like, I put faith in the fact that there's probably a market for most things out there at the minute. You know what I mean? And even if it's like you're making a really niche kind of music, there will be somebody somewhere that will vibe with it. Surely, you know what I mean? You just need to get it out there. And I guess like there's like two ends to it, because you sort of can learn how to actually do the thing, but then once you've made the thing, the internet's really good for being like pushing it, you know what I mean? You can get it to more people than you used to be able to get it to. I feel like there's more. This is, I mean, to go off on a slight tangent, right? When people are always like, oh, all the music venues are closing down. How are we going to have artists if all these music venues keep closing down? It's like, there's more artists now than there ever has been. Everything is so accessible, you know what I mean? You don't need to play a gig to 12 people in Liverpool to get a career or to even, like, grow your craft anymore, you know what I mean? Because the internet means you can fucking do whatever you want.
Yeah, and something that really hit me a few weeks ago, which is mad considering how recent it was. Like, when we work on music, and, like, strangers as well, like, you kind of, like, you know, you write it all, you record a lot of it yourself, and you produce most of it, do you know what I mean? And then you mix it, and then, you know, mastering, obviously, you're doing yourself now, but we've been to someone else before. And, like, you know, 16-year-old Liam was like, fucking, if you don't do all that by yourself, it's a fucking joke, you're not a real artist. But when I was talking to someone I met a few weeks ago who's just, like, specifically a songwriter, it kind of shook me a little bit. So I was like, so what do you do? And I was like, I don't understand. So you just, like, you should write it and then that's it. Like, it goes off. And she's like, yeah.
That is mad.
Like, she got a publishing deal. So obviously she just goes to people and writes with people. Sometimes she does, like, the vocals on it. But then that's it. Like, that's all she does.
You know what? Like, I'd kind of be happy doing that. Like, not even if push came to shove, like, I would much rather do that than, like, any of the shit I'm doing now. You know what I mean? To, like, get by. I feel like if the band didn't work out, I would just go into shit like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't, even though I am the kind of person that is, like, a control freak, as Paul will testify, like, I kind of wouldn't mind just being part of a greater thing. I think I've definitely learned that over the years.
Yeah.
That it, like, I can be, I don't have to be everything. I can just be part, like, I can be a cog in a bigger machine. I was
going to say a cog, yeah.
And also because, like, there's going to be other people that are better than you at shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is why, like, it's why I like coming here to record drums or whatever. Because I'm like, you need to utilize the people that are around you.
Yeah.
I think. But I'd love to. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, because I think she put a song on that she'd been involved in. She was like, oh, I wrote this and I did this as well. I was like, she was buzzing that she'd, like, done, like, the keys on a song.
Yeah.
I was like, so you've done the keys? She's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking, that's crazy, innit? Just how, like, ecstatic shows that the keys had made it.
Yeah. That is
when
weird.
we're, like, you know, at one point we was, like, fucking trying to make our own, like, we didn't want to use, like, a certain preset or something because it was, like, 2 in the box. You know what I mean? Someone else has made this preset, so we've got to mess with it.
Yeah. And I definitely think that has lessened with age. Because, like, you go, and I think, like, a lot of people are like this, like, watching just people fucking produce on the internet. Loads of people are using loops. Loads of people are just using presets for stuff. Loads of people are doing things that in the past I would have been like, well, that's cheating, that, you know what I mean? But, like, if it sounds good at the end of the day, if it works, then fucking go for it, you know what I mean?
This is one issue that I've mentioned before about, like, YouTube being saturated with, like, top 5 EQ tips and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you got to do this, you got to do this. This is how to make it sound like this. And realistically, as long as it sounds the way you want it to sound, it doesn't matter. Like, when I used to put fucking 4 reverbs on the guitar to make a pad.
That did sound shit.
It sounded good.
Yeah, especially because music's so subjective. It's not like when people do put, like, fitness videos on and there's a technique to it, you know what I mean? Where it's like, this is the correct way to do something. Music isn't like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It can be anything. And obviously that's not to say that there's no such thing as, like, a bad mix. And I'm sure a lot of the people that are, like, making these videos about, like, tips for stuff aren't meaning for it to be taken as gospel. But I guess if you're a young producer, and I probably would have done this back in the day if I'd have been in that position, you'd see someone on the internet do something that you liked and go, oh, that's how it's done.
I'm going to do that. You know, if I ever get in that situation, that's what I need to do. But then, like, no one's going to, like, listen to fucking one of our songs and go, oh my God, that fucking high pass at 500 hertz is amazing.
Don't, because it blows my mind and equally annoys me, right? How much time we put into making shit. And then, like, you finish it and you go, oh, well, someone's just going to listen to it on earbuds anyway. Like, it doesn't really fucking matter that much. You just have to get it as good as you can get it.
Although controversial, right? I went back and put our stuff in a playlist. I listened to 3 the other day, right?
3?
Not as shit as I thought.
That's a bad song.
Bad chorus, but not as badly, it doesn't sound.
It's such a bad song that's not even on our Spotify. That's SoundCloud days. That's
Yeah, that's what I was
pre us being proper. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's just what I mean. At the time, it was I don't want to talk about this again. I'd give it a few years. I understand it. I understand its process in the journey.
Yeah, I still think it's shit, to be quite honest.
Yeah, as a song it is. I mean, the sound. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I mean, it gives me a lot of faith sometimes when I look back at old, either listen to old songs or look back at videos that we made or with strangers in the studio from time ago, and then I realise, I have actually come further than I think I have.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because you don't realise it when it's in real time. But then, because we've got a song that we're working on at the minute called Forever, which I'm sure you've heard, that I made probably when we were still in college, 2017 maybe. And I remember opening that project back up that was 4 years old and going, oh my God, I can't believe I did any of this, because it was all wrong. You know what I mean? Nothing was mixed properly, really. There was about 6 things that had EQs on, the rest was just leveled. There was all sort of weird effects going on. There was 12 maximizers across the project. But so that made me realize, oh shit, I actually have come, I'm doing all right, you know what I mean? Because in the past I'd never be able to make the shit that I make now.
Yeah, and that's what's good. A lot of that would have come from YouTube and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%. I owe pretty much most of what I'm able to do just in life to YouTube. Because I was never a big TV kid. You know what I mean? I watched cartoons when I was little, but then once I got a phone that I could watch YouTube on, I just watched YouTube all the time.
Yeah.
So everything I've learned, particularly about music, has probably come from I'm a big learn by watching people do stuff and copying it. Yeah. And then you copy it, and it, when we spoke about it before, really, where you're aiming for something and it sort of misses a bit, but then that becomes your way of doing it, and that's how you evolve your own techniques.
Yeah, it's good how accessible it is as well from actual professionals and stuff as well, because we know Disclosure stream a lot of their stuff. Do you know what I mean? They've gone through a lot of stuff their way, and it'll just show you you might think you're a world away from the way that Guy and Howard do shit, but really you've just been using the same synth, and you just never know, and then that will blow your mind, don't it?
Yeah. How much do you think? I mean, well, first of all, do you class YouTube as social media? It's not really. It's probably more of a platform, a video platform.
It's media, though, isn't it? And it's very, very social because anyone uploads.
Yeah, I guess. But how do you think? Looking at other social medias, do you think it's changed the way people make music? Obviously, that we talk about the people learning from YouTube, but do you think the fact that everything now filters down through the likes of Instagram and TikTok has changed people's actual process and what they're doing?
Well, it must do, because of the boom of the bedroom producer. It must have changed it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's got to start from someone to pass down to someone else, and with the internet being widely available to everyone, all it takes is a quick search and you're on it. You know what I mean? You see someone else doing it and you're oh, I want to do that. Yeah,
I think as well it's probably easier to view trends in the same way that it's you see someone doing something and you're oh, I want to do that. So now, and I don't know what I think about this, right? Because I think obviously TikTok is massive at the minute, innit? And a large part of that is music. Yeah. So songs have got popping because they've become a TikTok trend.
Yeah. I've been on loads of car journeys where they go through the charts, and the top 5 are TikTok songs. Yeah. It's got its own little genre on it.
Yeah. Which is crazy to think about, really. Yeah. But do you think platforms like that being so big is making people tailor their music towards that?
Yeah. But I guess if they're going for a certain way, then it's all right. Do you know what I mean? If someone could write a song and think, I want this to pop off on TikTok. Yeah. So it's got to have I've said it on one of your upcoming ones. I mean, it sounds like it'd be a TikTok sound, because the same way Vines were short. I know TikToks can be longer nowadays, but it started with just being that drop of a song or something, having a little dance to it, and then it'd pop off that way.
Yeah.
Jason Derulo, Savage Love. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know how much I like that's a thing though.
What do you mean you don't like it?
Like I don't know how much I like the fact that, because essentially, right, TikTok is like, if you're using TikTok to market music, or like you're thinking about, oh, like this song would pop off on TikTok, it's like a marketing thing in it.
Yeah.
So then it's sort of, instead of making the song and then marketing it, you're thinking about the marketing while you're making the song. And obviously it probably doesn't, it's probably not that much of a conscious thought for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I think there's definitely probably is people out there, maybe not even like professional people, but there's definitely artists that are trying to promote themselves on TikTok, that are trying to make songs for TikTok.
I completely understand what you're saying, but it just takes me back to like Charlie Puth, right?
Right.
And that first album. And he was like, I was like, he was making songs that like mums would like to listen to.
Yeah.
And he knows like, because he must write loads of songs anyway, like everyone does, do you know what I mean? And pick like the best ones. But he must have like, I think he says that, like the Superman song, what else? Marvin Gaye, let's Marvin Gaye get it on. Like he wrote it and he knows like, it'll be a bit popular because it's a bit cheesy and it's a bit catchy.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I knew once he had the first project out of the way, we got like attention and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like stuff that seemed more Charlie Puth.
Yeah. That'd be mad though. Like, I know that's what he did, but do you reckon you could do that? Like, because you think about it, like, you would have had to tour that first album for quite a while, go out and play those songs every night, like knowing that the songs that he's not really into. Like, I've seen him trash talk his older shit so much.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But like, surely, I don't know. I'd feel like a sellout if I was doing that.
I get what you mean, but if it's just the way you're getting if that's what you have to do is get your foot in the door in this oversaturated market that everyone's trying to do.
True.
You know what? He's just accepted it.
It was a very clever move. And I think like a lot of people are doing stuff. A lot of people are making those sacrifices because the market is so oversaturated at the minute. You know what I mean? And maybe that's why people are like tailoring their shit more towards what might pop off.
Yeah. I think with Charlie Puth, like, don't get it twisted. Like, he did go to like, a mad
Berkeley, didn't he?
And he was very good at what he did.
Yeah.
But that was just his way of getting in. But like on the other hand, you have people like Shawn Mendes, who was like from YouTube. Do you know what I mean? He was just like posting a lot of covers and a lot of stuff that way.
Yeah.
Tori Kelly, fucking no one's heard from her for a while, but she got famous from Vine singing.
I think like the only time when it's maybe a negative is when it's like smaller artists that are doing it. Because I've seen a lot of like people who are maybe like my age and a bit younger who are like trying to make it, who like post on TikTok on the daily, right? And I'm like, you look to me like you're spending more time on your socials presence than you are. Like, when are you making music? You know what I mean? All I see is you posting TikToks about shit. And I get that like, they're like, oh, this is the popping platform right now. But I don't think it's going to be like that forever. I think people are putting too much stock in it. Because if you think about it, right, and funnily enough, I made a video about this on our TikTok. But like, when YouTube first came out, there was sort of a wave of people who were getting, like Justin Bieber, for example, who sort of made it off YouTube.
He's like the OG.
Yeah, exactly. And then I remember being young, I remember being like 12, 13, and my dad being like, oh, you want to put your recordings on YouTube, you know what I mean? Like, you might get discovered. And then like, before that, MySpace had its moment. After that, SoundCloud had its moment.
Yep.
And now it's just TikTok, and it's just going to move on to the next thing. Because
it will do, but like, I think it's good because like we're saying, if it's popping and everyone's on TikTok, you might have it easy, because there's that thing in it where like it's easy to rack up a lot of views like very fast for some people.
Don't get me wrong. I think like the way the algorithm works on that platform is good for shit like that. But they probably won't keep it like that forever.
No, there will be something that comes along and takes its place.
Yeah.
But then again, like Facebook being the first sort of like social media giant is still around, but it's not as like vibrant as it was.
It's just mums, innit?
Yeah, it is. It's like kind of a lot of older people now on Facebook. Do you know what I mean?
It'd be funny to see if in like 5-10 years down the line, like our generation is still on TikTok.
Yeah.
And then like the kids are like, oh, it's just mums and dads on TikTok. You know what I mean? But no, I think when something that big comes along and people start to realise its potential to help you in any aspect, whether it be like, a musician trying to promote themselves, or like someone trying to make a career as an influencer or whatever, the more people realise that, it just gets oversaturated because everyone's jumping on the thing, and then the whole reason it made people pop in the first place is gone because exactly, because there's so many people on there. It just becomes the same oversaturated market that you have anywhere else.
Yeah, the music industry is like completely changed due to the internet as well. Do you know what I mean? Like when you said before, like marketing's like fucking a lot of social media these days. That's pretty much basically it's like it used to be like a lot of radio, maybe like TV adverts, you know, at one point, and then touring's your massive one. But now I'd say a lot of it is social media.
Yeah, but you know, it doesn't. I don't know. People think that that works if you're like a bigger artist, but I just worry like that people who are smaller think that they can do what major labels are doing just because they have social. Like I've fallen victim to it in the past, where I've been like, oh well, you know, we just put X amount of money into Instagram ads, and a lot of people listen to us on Spotify. You know what I mean? And that's not really how it works, because like, you don't realize how much you have to actually put into it, and there's a load of other shit going behind it. Like I saw someone say, I don't know, I saw a video, I can't remember what it was on, but someone mentioned that was like, if part of your plan as an artist is to like pop off on social media in some way, like you need to do, if that's like the main chunk of your thing, you need to be doing other shit. You know what I mean? Like you need to do more, because the chances of you becoming big on TikTok or even like, you know, SoundCloud or whatever is slim.
Do you think you'd get more people interested in your music from, let's say, you know, being on someone's gig, you know what I mean, playing before them and shit at a show, or like getting bigger on Instagram?
Oh, but bigger on Instagram, totally. Because that's a whole different thing, because like shows are dying, you know what I mean? And again, I that's fine. You know, it's sad, but it's just the way shit moves.
Yeah. Like I think it's mad that people used to like, you know, tour for fun to touring because this is fucking 90% of your income.
Yeah. It is crazy. Well, it's just, I mean, again, that's another, we could talk for hours about like that's what I wrote my what we talked about in the emotion thing.
Your and special subject investigation.
Yeah, you did yours on emotion in music, and mine was about how Spotify was ruining the industry. But we could talk forever about how like you know, the internet. I guess Spotify comes under that. You know what I mean? Like the people's consumption of music via the internet has completely changed the model of how the industry works.
Definitely.
Probably for the worse. Maybe I would say.
I'm not sure if it's for the worst, because like this happens all the time with like me and Ellie. Like we'll be in the car and we'll listen to the radio, and she'll know the song. I'm like, I've never heard this song before in my life. I'm like, how do you know? And she's like, well, I just listen to the radio. But like all my stuff now like comes from like YouTube and Spotify. Like I never get why she knows all the words of these songs on the radio.
Yeah, well that's what I mean. Like it's not made like, I don't think it's made radio obsolete. You know, it's not made these older
that's what I mean,
mediums
but like,
obsolete.
I think at one point you might have been like, oh, I've got this sick song, you know, really want to get it on the radio.
Yeah.
Where it's gone from, got this sick song, imagine if it pops off on TikTok. Do you know what I
mean? Would I rather pop off on the radio or on TikTok?
But I think for you, like you've obviously got this way of thinking anyway, it might be different. But for like a greater number of people, like starting out like bedroom producers like we're saying, which is more common.
Yeah. And when I say like the way that the internet has changed the consumption of music is for the worst, I think from a consumption point of view, if you're an artist, it's maybe made things worse just because it's harder for us to make money without touring loads. And the sort of all the power is in the streaming companies now. But in terms of the actual creation of stuff, looping back around, I feel like there's never been a better time to make music, because there's so many, there's more of a community on the internet now. There's like, you can share tips with everyone. Everyone's making things, and it's just interesting. It's more interesting because everyone's just sharing their like you know, what they do and their sounds and their opinions, and well, maybe the opinions isn't like a good thing, but you know what I mean, like it's I think it's a very exciting time for music. It's just a drab time to try and make a career out of it.
Yeah, the whole money situation is like fucked in it with music, because I seen something yesterday where it was like there was converting like units sold to like streams and how much that was making. It was like if you need to stream like 100,000 times to sell, I don't know if it was like 50 units, which makes like $2,000 or something mad.
Yeah, it's but then this is the thing, because people can put out music now that wouldn't have been able to put out music in the past, because all you have to do is sign up for a DistroKid account. You know, there's no sort of gatekeeping by record labels in that sense. So that's a good thing, and like there is the ability to do it by yourself, but it's incredibly hard
because everyone's doing it.
Because everyone's doing it, and also like it's still hard. I think it's still hard to like become a successful mainstream artist without the backing of a major label.
Yeah, I think it just helps you to get that kickstart. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I always think about like Martin Garrix. Like when Animals he did for like a college project, then it went obviously fucking viral when Big Room was huge, and now he's fucking like always in like the top 10, DJ Mag Top 100.
Yeah.
And like he's got his own like label and shit like that now. Do you know what I mean? It's just a way of like, it's just always about getting in it. It's always been about getting in.
Yeah, because I suppose as well, like if you sort of did begin to pop off in some way, be it through a social media or just by getting your Spotify listens up, then the bigwigs would be interested in you anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, I think it's interesting to think the way you're thinking about like the future of strangers and stuff, like what you want to do to kind of get there, compared to what the general population would consider, you know, what they have to do to get there.
Yeah.
It'd be totally different, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people, like, always say, like, same with, like, people wanting to be YouTubers, like, oh, if I get a viral video, that's kind of it, do you know what I mean? I'm in a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I guess, like, what changed for it, so a backstory for anyone that doesn't know, we've basically spent, like, we've spent about 2 or 3 years, like, releasing music off our own back, trying to get it Spotify listens up, trying to get it to this people and these people, trying to get it to pop off here and there, and like trying to just generate any sort of interest whatsoever, you know, like fucking sending to millions of radio stations and blogs and shit, and like it just wasn't happening. And maybe that's because we're not good enough, but that's a fact that I will
cry about later.
Yeah. But I think maybe we weren't good enough then. I think we're good enough now, but the plan's changed anyway. But like, I guess I just got tired of trying to become a internet success off my own back, you know what I mean? Because there's only so much music you can put out and like be continually ignored before you're like, okay, the plan isn't working. Yeah, we need to change something else. But I feel like a lot of people would just be like, why are we not? You know, I'm posting all these TikToks, and why are none of them popping off? Because I guess you just got to stay self-aware about it, which is what I was saying before, because like a lot of people just think, oh, well, if we get success on YouTube, then sorted. And like you say, that might be people's foot in the door then, but just because you've had some success on like the internet doesn't mean there's any longevity in that by any means.
Definitely. As you can tell, like when I said before about Tori Kelly, like she was big on Vine, she could obviously sing. I think she released a song, then like that was kind of it. Whereas, like, you know, obviously Shawn Mendes discovered on Vine and YouTube as well. He's obviously made something and got quite big off it. Yeah.
How do you think it's gonna like
change
moving forward, like the future?
I think it's very hard to guess. I think because you never know what's coming. Yeah.
No, I suppose no one could have predicted any of the sort of large scale changes in the consumption of music.
Yeah. No.
Do you think we're heading in a good direction?
For what? For the way that we listen to music?
Well, I guess it's different. Do you think we're heading in a good direction as creators?
As creators, a good direction. Yes, in terms of the fact that, you know, it used to be labels. Yeah. That's it. Labels is the world. You're not getting in unless you know someone, or you get into with the label. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's more accessible now. In the past 10 years maybe, it's completely different. So I think that's good because a lot of people are able to get heard and stuff, just like from doing it themselves. They don't need that sort of thing. But obviously it comes with the cons of, you know, you get people who, like I'd say, aren't very good doing the same thing and just oversaturating it. If you covered a song, for example, on YouTube, and it's actually, you know, objectively quite good, and you type it in the search bar, you're going to get millions, aren't you?
million, yeah.
Millions of the people doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of a tit for tat sort of thing.
What were you going to ask before I asked that? I feel like I cut you off with that question.
Fuck knows now. Don't know.
Well,
I was just thinking about, like, how some people, like, I know, like, when the X Factor was big, like, they'd go on socials to get people in, right? And, like, the big thing with, like, Cher Lloyd, she was on it. She signed to Psycho, got, like, 2 songs out, and then that was it, because she was like, I'm not getting my songs out. Oh, who else was we on about not long ago? Or is it with Ellie or someone, like, some female artist or something is like, she's got, like, her album ready to go, and every time she's having an interview, like, when it's out, because like the label saying, like, no, it's not good enough, it's not what we want and stuff.
I don't know.
Fucked, innit?
I feel like Rita Ora's not put music out in ever. You know what I mean?
I think Rita Ora's. I said this about Katy Perry though. Don't get me wrong. Like after the first album, she didn't do anything for ages.
Yeah.
And boom, she was all over the place. Teenage Dream and that, Fireworks, Madness. It was crazy. I like Katy Perry. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy for her. People do it though. Do you know what I mean? Go on a little hiatus and come back.
True.
But then again, like we've talked about this thing before as well, where like if you get a fan base and you get to a certain level, how do you know that people aren't just listening to the music because it's them and because it's good music?
Oh, what? So you mean like
how everything Ed Sheeran puts out goes straight to number 1? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's definitely an element of like once you reach a certain height, you're always going to have like those sort of people who will always listen to your shit and will always love you to a degree. But then that comes along with its equal share of haters.
But in terms of like going forward, I think it's in a good place. Do you know what I mean? Being widely accessible, people are getting a chance.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess, all people kind of really want. Like, obviously, you're gonna need luck and things like that.
Yeah, true. Did you have any more on your notes, or do you want to move on to tactical tracks? Any other interesting points, or should we just get into it? Go on, lad. Let's get into it.
The only thing I've not mentioned is just about like how easy it is for music to be like on the go. Do you know what I mean? And like how much that's changed.
In terms of like listening to it on the go.
Yeah.
And making it on the go, I guess, but that's like a more of a technology side than a social side.
Well, I'd say it's a lot with the internet, like we were saying before about like cloud-based projects and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I do think about that sometimes because that's probably like being able to listen to your entire record collection on shuffle wasn't a thing, before like 25 years ago.
Like I've got from like, going from Walkmans to like
Walkman.
I'm going for the Walkman to like iPod downloads. You know what I mean? Then you can have like so many songs.
Yeah.
Like it still would have been accessible, but you still would have either have to buy them on iTunes or like download them and put them on that way. And obviously that got like you've gone from like 100 songs to 1,000 songs, and now it's like then obviously like Bluetooth and stuff, like you were sharing music that way. To now like like the fucking entire world discography is on this bad boy.
Yeah, which is madness, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm the only person I know who still buys CDs.
I'll buy a CD if I want to buy a CD.
I don't like exclusively buy CDs. I do buy my music though. Like I'm a digital download guy.
Yeah.
I don't have Spotify or any of that shit.
You're also, let's put this out there, an Android guy.
Yeah. Samsung, mate. But that's fine.
It's fine. Controversial.
I've always been an Android guy. It just makes it difficult to be a digital music consumer because I have to use fucking Samsung music player and some bollocks.
But yeah, so I think that's crazy. Like just like everything, like if I ever want to listen to anything, like it's just there. I can do it now. Yeah,
you can just
no matter who it is, where it's from. Like fucking Brazilian jazz, I've got it.
Yeah, well that I suppose that's the same with anything. Like you can just the accessibility of everything now is crazy. But it's mad to think about the people who used to have to walk around with like a Walkman and like, a Walkman, or like a little fucking CD player or whatever.
But yeah, like I buy CDs when I'm like, I want that CD. Like I want to own that like myself. None of this like NFT bullshit that's coming through.
Yeah, I don't even understand it. It's like, but I'm the same with the vinyl. I will buy vinyl if I'm like, I love this album and it would just be nice to have it on vinyl. I barely even listen to my records anymore.
Yeah, I think with vinyls, what I think about vinyls is like, you have to listen to it. If you're putting a vinyl on, you really can't do anything else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, which that's an important thing to think about when you're talking about how the consumption of music has changed through the internet, because I feel like too many people just listen to stuff by putting shit on while they're doing other things.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I feel like obviously there is still a lot of people that will listen to stuff, like listen to the level that we do. But like when you put a vinyl on, you have to like sit down with it, and you know what I mean, there's a process to it.
Yeah.
And you have to like change it over halfway through and shit. So there's like an attentiveness to it that you don't necessarily get
these days.
Yeah. But then again, there was probably people who there's probably always been people who just like stick shit on in the background.
Like I just think like I listen to music all the time.
Yeah.
Like I get up and I go on my phone, and then like as soon as I'm like, right, I need to start doing something, getting ready, getting in the shower, whatever, like I'll put some music on all the time. If I'm like fucking cleaning, washing, whatever, if I'm at home, if I want to walk, if I go to the gym, do you know what I mean? If we're in the car going somewhere, like it's just always on.
Yeah, I've had to, sometimes I make myself not do it because like I can't be in silence, you know what I mean? And it's troubling.
That you can't be in silence?
Yeah, because I always have to like put music on or put like a podcast on or something, you know what I mean? And if you're that kind of person, we have 11 more episodes of this shit. So stick us on while you're doing the dishes. Right, shall we get into the glorious return? It feels like ages since we've done this.
It has. It's been a long while.
It's been a good few episodes since we've done this. Jack's Tactical Tracks. Would you like to explain the premise?
This explanation gets fucking worse. Worse and worse. Every time I try and tell them what it is.
The viewer.
The consumer. So, right, okay. Tactical Tracks is putting a song to a question.
Yeah.
And then I also say environment, scenario.
Situation.
Jack
if you presents me with a situation, an environment, whatever, and I put a song to it, and he also puts a song to it. So, what is this week's one?
This week, sample that one.
Sample that.
For the WWE fans out there. If every time you met someone new and you had your own entrance music, what song would you pick?
I am going for a song called I Can't Hear You by the Dead Weather, which is like quite a rock and roll. Don't look at I hate it when you look over at Paul.
Every time. This happens every time.
Well, I
know you listen to a load of music, but every time we go on Tactical Tracks, it's like, I'm going to pick this one that no one's ever heard of. And everyone's watching is going to go, what the fuck is that?
Well, recommendation, go listen to I Can't Hear You by the Dead Weather. It's a very sort of like, I think the Dead Weather's like a super group. I know Jack White plays guitar in it. It's like a few different people from a few different bands. It's a very sort of sexy rock and roll tune.
You never mentioned these people before. Yeah, I don't know what to think.
I found this song because it was in
Baby Driver.
No,
I could kick off.
It was in Crazy Stupid Love when Emma Stone walks into the bar to meet Ryan Gosling, and I feel like it's a very good, it's a very cool way to enter a scene, to enter a room. You know what I mean? Either that or which, to be fair, is a very interchangeable song because it's like the exact same vibe. Is a song called King Bee by the Stone Foxes, which I found off like a Jack Daniels advert,
right?
Which is the same sort of very sort of classic raunchy rock and roll tune.
Classic raunchy rock and roll tune.
Yeah, I'll play it.
I think it's mad that you've got this inspiration for this Tactical Tracks off a movie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's
almost like that's what you'd want your situation to be like.
Well, literally, I could list several songs that would fit this that have all come from movies. You
wouldn't know a single fucking one, Paul. Wouldn't know a single one.
Yeah. Well, that's just, I have a cinematic mind. We've discussed this before. Yeah. So what's yours?
Mine, I went through about 3 to pick my answer, because at first I was trying to pick a song that I just really enjoyed. Like every time I come on, I would vibe to. So I did start with Afterglow by Wilkinson.
You come at me. I've never heard that.
Afterglow Wilkinson. Thank you.
Right, I don't even know who Wilkinson is.
Wilkinson, Los Shopos dos Dreamos. That's who Wilkinson is. But I thought, it's not really it's a good song and I like it, but it's not really me. You know what I mean? But I'd want someone to get a little bit about me across.
Yeah.
With my tune, so I've gone with One Republic, I Lived.
Of course.
Good song. Got a bit of depth about it.
Yeah.
And if you like with the little conversation we had before we was rolling, like it's got some like good deep lines there, do you know what I mean?
But is that because when you said like walking music, I was thinking something that is a bit hype, you know what I mean? That is going to make you seem...
Yeah, like I don't mean you like you have to be John Cena though when you come through the door.
I didn't mean that, but like something to set the tone. Is that not what yours is?
Well, I was just assuming, right, if it was like, you know, like, have you seen Black Mirror?
I've seen like 2 episodes.
Like Black Mirror, right, where like if we met each other, like, I'm Jack, you know, song starts playing. I'm like, right, okay. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you met Dan from college, you know, like the Swedish fucking fishing theme music was playing, like, right, okay, I'm going this way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, do you know, I just think it'd explain a little bit about me, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, as I've said before, like, I don't know, some people get, like, dead arsehole vibes from me, but, you know, I feel like I'm a bit deeper than that, you know what I mean?
I think you're a dick.
Well, this has been a good episode. As you said, there's a few we've done before this, you know, that you can go back and go watch a few. We've got some good ideas for some upcoming ones.
Yeah.
We've got a big fish at the end of the race of the podcast, you know. Yes. We're trying to swing him.
Yes, we have. There's a lot of cool things coming for this podcast in the future. Thank you for watching this episode. This brings it to a close. You can, I'll put, if you're watching this on the YouTube,
on the YouTube.
Or on the YouTube. It's like when your nan says it. Or on the Facebook. I saw it on the Facebook.
Fucking wind ringing you out of a fruit session.
If you...
the microwave's beeping at me.
If you are watching this on the YouTube version, then all the links to our socials will be in the description. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell. Sometimes the videos don't get delivered in your subscription box, so you want to know when we put a new one up, because otherwise we'll be sad that our views are shit. Disgusting. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Liam. This has been Jack. Stereotypical. Goodbye.